Good afternoon. This is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncovering No More. I'm constructing a blog article and opening back up my blog for Elizabeth and Robert Barrett Browning for reasons that have to do with the splintering in my family that is not our fault. Living in this society, we've done what we had to do to survive it. But being that the mother of 10 children had happened exactly what Jesus Christ himself in the gospel record said would happen to me. I lost property. Never mind that at least my son got it, born on my birthday. Never mind all that. I personally, as an adult woman, lost property. My father and his brother built the houses. Capital D, capital U, capital H. I've been treated like a piece of shit, all because other people are afraid of my testimony and the man I'm talking about. I don't put that to their account. I get it. I don't put it to their account that they don't consider it a privilege to have been blessed with a woman in their midst that's actually an archangel, and my name is actually Tara in heaven. Because nobody understands that stuff. Nobody respects that stuff. Nobody respects the Bible. This is The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. He's got a website, too. Do you see me? Knock, knock. Who's here? A sorceress. A sorceress who? A sorceress who has formed her own community. Included the Bible, because it's a perfectly good book, as long as you don't allow any Protestant or Catholic pastors or priests in your midst because they have fucked it up. And tried to go to church for years, again, because I'm a 51-year quote-unquote Christian. And now the Republican Party has bought them all off. If there is anybody who is Judas Iscariot in the modern day, it's the Protestant church. So do you see the candle? Here we go. I suggest you say goodbye to this video if you don't like the fact that I'm about to invoke Era Davis Beatty into the room. When I ring the bell, you turn the video off. If you're not comfortable with a cloud of witnesses reading with Kara, just sitting in here full, the room is full, the house is full. They make sure they don't weigh me down at all. The Italian in England by Robert Browning with 2 of my own poems. Elizabeth Barrett Browning and I write poetry spontaneously together because I have the ability to go to heaven and be with them. So I have carefully, yet again, I have 2 sets of ministerial work now. And one of them is with a sunflower backpack. I had to put aside my desire for Wiccan celebration privately because I need to get a hold of some situations in my chakra that are all clogged up because people have walked off of me without proper reconciliation. They've separated themselves from one another, and I can tell you 100% accurately that as the mother, I have to move on not being a mother. I'm widowed and childless at this point because everybody literally walked off of me. Do I need to forgive that? No. I'm glad they're safe, happy, doing what they need to do in their lives, what they want to do in their lives. And let me tell you, if the Republicans, Judas Iscariot, Republican Protestant Church, and Catholic probably too, it's a little hazy in the Catholic zone. If the Republicans take over this presidency, my kids are going to be busy, but they're my kids. So they're not going to change to me. And I hope that they have comfort in that because the politics of this day and age are controlling us in ways they should not be allowed to do. It's that simple. That's why I have blogs, so that I can keep reality what it really should be, because reality should not allow a criminal to be on the Republican ticket. And I was saying that the last time it got on the White House lawn and was given authority it shouldn't have been given. All right, your choice, because after this, it's 3 poems, 1 blog, and then I'll move on with my day my way. I'm sick, very sick. And so that's a good way to rearrange magic, finish out some things, and say goodbye to America. You're dead to me. You're dead to me. I'm done. But my testimony is true, and I will keep posting truth where I post truth. And it is nobody's business what I consider truth. You want to make it your business? Be careful. I am the dragon lady. And I was doing a curse against Israel, and a woman accidentally smacked a window at the front of the coffee shop I was in. They had to redo it. So, accidents do happen. I can't explain it. People around me make fun of me for me telling them where the metaphysical and the physical actually clash around me. I have story after story of that. And since everybody's nervous around Jesus, he has his ways and means of appearing around me. I am certain other people see him and his men. It's men. He makes sure he keeps men around me that know who I am vaguely and know not to talk about it, to keep me safe. All right. Have a nice day. Hi, Grandma. Now, before I ring this bell, I'd suggest you turn the video off. But that's just a suggestion. If you don't want to play by my rules, America, the Western world. I've played by your rules to get bills paid for years, and you still hate me. Okay. Black screen. You'll never be able to say that I'm not careful with you. I will always be able to say you denied the testimony of Jesus Christ in the life of Beaty-Coffey. I will always be able to say that. Have a nice trip. My first poem, Witness. We watch out the window, see birdie free, ask ourselves questions, nap to be. Why must the schism of politics rage when comforting neighbors brings purple sage? And home-baked chicken with potatoes sublime, love the enemy is easy despite grand old party slime. Yet for the next 4 years, there is rage. They try to scare us all. I turn the page and write a new poem, reminding the kids with a Z on the end. No matter the living hell, put on lids. Close your eyes daily. Learn to nap. Make sure you recharge to close gaps. And I have a new way of doing my small ball exercises that I've told everyone I do. So I will show that to you here in just a minute when I open back up. And it's with an app called Balance. I allow the app and the man doing the meditation. He's teaching me a different way of meditation than Elaine Patron, but they merge together very well, so I can sit on my small balls for 10 minutes in different positions where the pain is the greatest and get that relaxed. At the same time, I'm listening to him, and then he asks questions in the app to help me identify, am I emotionless today? Am I angry today? Am I happy today? And that is just helpful for someone like me that has ended up isolated because my whole life was turned against because of my testimony. And I want to be joyful here because I've been cared for. And while people have fought with me as I got my life fixed to this place, we still can pay our bills. I can still forgive them and they can still forgive me. And I'm just forgetting on purpose all the bad shit. I put the pictures away that I had on the refrigerator yet again. I have a whole story where I was sticking them up, and my mother's family was even with them. My mother's family betrayed my dad, but I do have one cousin who will always call me family. Her name is Joanne, and her daddy was someone that I don't talk about because people think forgiveness goes where it doesn't. She's literally the savior of her dad's family. She's Jesus Christ. A girl. Okay. So now I am going, so let me pull Elaine Patron. I'll pull out the original book, and I'm not going to show you the Balance app. That's your business. You can go find it if you want in the App Store. I haven't done it today because this that I'm doing is primary. So I'll commit to myself to do it today. Here is a poem that I found in a certain book that is calling up Elizabeth and Robert Barrett Browning for the rest of my life on their blog. In other words, I've got several books I need to finish and notebooks, but they also are calling into completion My Chakra, which I just got. That was after I went to a fair that I get to go to in April once a year now for my birthday, to celebrate my birthday. And it's among magicians and animal people and all of that. And I'm a realm traveler, so that stuff is real to me. And so it is to them. It's a business. So, they're running a business. And so I appreciate that. I support it. And some of my adult children have been going for years. The incense carrier that you saw, my fourth child daughter, Dorothy, very special to me, gave to me. The bell I had bought for someone and then realized it's mine. And it's from a special lady next to the place where the window was completely shattered. Nobody was hurt while I was cursing Israel because of their bullshit. Netanyahu needs to straighten his ass up. And we need to vote Harris Walls 2024 in America. It's really that simple. Okay. Love should never be measured in friendship, joy, sorrow, pain, happiness. Perhaps it should be said, love should be measured none at all. Americans do not know how to discuss anything without measuring it somehow, and they have to debate, and I am tired of you. Goodbye. We should find the love already in places. I do that all the time. I got the scars to prove it because everybody hates me, literally. I don't know why. And nurture its presence within and without, like being a warm fire in winter, a cold drink in summer, and a moment of silence in the early morning on a front doorstep. I have the cold drink in a glass, so I'll show that to you. See, I do my poetry, and my poetry does me. And this is an excellent, because I'm sick, and this bout of COVID is still, it's making my abdominals, my bowels and everything very painful. It's settled in my bowels, and I'm going to have to report that to my doctor so that they can just keep track of it. And this is my third time, and I am crossing over in this journal that I just read the love poem from. The next page, I say masks in public. This is the 20th of August, 2024. I'm going to need to take my weight again. I switched my journey to this blue book because some of my journals have been finished. So that's what I did. All right, so let's open this up again and I will show you because I'm a very practical person. There's my cold drink. This stuff is really good. And sometimes, like yesterday, I put Sprite in it because, again, my bowels and my stomach are way off base because I've got an actual COVID virus, literally. Remember, my dad built and my Uncle Paul built the desk that you see, the brown, okay, for homeschooling children after my mother's sister, after her husband died of lung cancer, and I went and helped take care of children while I worked, very young, before marriage. See, I was used. That was expected of me. I also did it because I love my family, and most of those people won't even talk to me now. I'm a bad person. They don't check on me. They don't care. My parents died. Nobody cares. It went much farther with some of my cousins because I wouldn't play by their rules, and they got angry because they're not Tribe Judah. The Colonics are not Tribe Judah. You don't have Tribe Judah with brothers who committed incest at any time on their sisters. That's not Tribe Judah. That's not elect. They're people. They needed forgiveness. They got it. It's none of your business what's on the other side. But that is not election. I can tell you more what's not election than I can tell you what is. And people hate that. And that is why this blog article is with Robert Browning, Male Authority, and it's for my daughter Margaret and I, because they've done the same thing to her that they did to her mother. And I can't reach her anymore. I can't reach her anymore. We can't even talk to each other. It's so adversarial around us. I never assume with my 10 children that they blame me or I blame them. Never. If they do, God bless them. I was doing the best I could, raising a family on a single income. And people hate me. Not necessarily my 10 children. You'd have to ask them if they hate me. They won't be honest with you. Some of them have a guilty conscience and they're not coming to me and talking to me privately and just getting it over themselves. I don't know why they're not doing that. It's none of my business, actually. But I am tired of being denigrated even in my own home. You think I have mental issues? You have no idea. I did the life of about 2 to 3 women accomplishing what I did, helping my parents. We were in full-time ministry as Protestants. Took people in our home constantly. Nobody cares. That was just about my parents. Oh, Kara didn't have anything to do with that. Are you fucking with me? Yes, you are. And that's what Margaret and I have found out is they just use us and throw us to the wayside. That's not us. We're good women. And no, we're not going to help you. We survived you, Protestant church, but we're not going to help you. You can go your own way. You've already turned the Republican Party completely criminal for years. We're not criminals. I don't give a fuck if any of my adult children vote for Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck. Politics is not me. Obviously. All right, so that was more Era Davis Beatty talking than me. So I am going to start wearing masks in public, like to Walmart, HB, the large places. Coffee shops, I'll wear the mask in. When I get my coffee and everything, I'll put the mask aside. I'll put the mask back on as I pack up and leave. I'll talk to people. I will behave normally. I'm not in public right now because I'm the one that's got to keep a fever down, and I relapsed once because I needed to do some things and I pushed my physical body too much, and that's normal for me. I've had 10 children, worked in house church alongside men for years. If you've never nursed a child with a fever in the middle of the night, stay out of my way. You don't know what a human existence is, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm a tough kid. And I may have some emotional scars, and I may have not behaved exactly how anybody thought I should for years. I don't give a fuck. It's not about behavior, it's about love. And what did I just say in a poem that I'm calling up? Love should never be measured in friendship, joy, sorrow, pain, or happiness. You don't measure love, you know it's there. And that's enough for me. That's also 1 Corinthians, is it 13 or 14? I think it's 1 Corinthians 13, which is my life story, named Catherine, Enoch's first wife. What, Kara? Yeah. Enoch's first wife. Katrina. And then after 8 years, he married Lillian. And then I found out from a beautiful friend of mine that the woman who was impregnated with Mary, the mother of Jesus, was an immaculate womb. No seed was required. And my middle name's Anne, and I told the king on a certain account that I was going to be called Anne. I thought it was prophetess Anna in the temple. It wasn't. And I was informed very roundaboutly by the king's direction, because you see, he knows all the people I'm talking about. I've got people mad at me because I said, he does know about you, which he did tell me in a DM. I do know about that one. It's like, okay, because I know they're looking on the other side and they've got all the records like we do. They have to pay their bills in the other world like we do. Okay, so let's get this much more pleasant. I think everybody's going to be fine with me if I just read poetry like a stupid idiot. I'm kidding. Grandma, am I doing okay? Hey, Uncle Paul, thank you for the desk. Dad, thank you for all the time you spent taking care of people who were going to hate me later because they don't like Jesus Christ in my life. How's that for Christianity? The Italian in England. I read this first, July 1st, 2023. Then I redated it August 20th, 2024, because Robert's calling from heaven. Hey, Kara, don't do this. Don't hurt yourself anymore, because these people that hate you still calling you names and just avoiding you. Now remember, the Italian in England is about the war. So this is a high-level person writing about, foxholes. Birds have nests. Foxes have holes. But the Son of Man has no place to lay his head, which is what is going in this as well. I don't know which verse it is, and I don't know where Jesus actually lives. I can't even guess. He does that to keep me safe. Thank you, sir. The second time they hunted me, from hill to plain, from shore to sea, in Austria, hounding far and wide, her bloodhounds through the countryside, breathed hot and instant on my trace. I made 6 days a hiding place. The hiding place. What's her name? Should go here. Beaty-Coffey. This is my hiding place. I literally have nowhere else to go. My life's gone for all intents and purposes. Of that dry green old aqueduct where I and Charles, when boys, have plucked the fireflies from the roof above, bright creeping through the moss they love. How long it seems since Charles was lost. 6 days the soldiers crossed and crossed the country in my very sight. And when that peril ceased at night, the sky broke out in red dismay, with signal fires. Well, there I lay, close covered o'er in my recess, up to the neck in ferns and cress, thinking on Metternich, our friend, and Charles's miserable end, and much beside. 2 days the third, hunger o'ercame me when I heard the peasants from the village go to work among the maize, With us in Lombardy they bring provisions packed on mules a string, with little bells that cheer their task, and casks and bows on every cask, to keep the sun's heat from the wine. These I let pass in jingling line, and close on them, dear noisy crew, the peasants from the village too, for at the very rear would troop their wives and sisters in a group, to help I knew. When these had passed, I threw my glove to strike the last, taking the chance. She did not start, much less cry out, but stooped apart. One instant rapidly glanced round, and saw me beckon from the ground. A wild bush grows and hides my crypt. She picked my glove up while she stripped a branch off, then rejoined the rest. With that, my glove lay in her breast. Then I drew breath, they disappeared. It was for Italy, I feared. An hour, and she returned alone, exactly where my glove was thrown. Meanwhile came many thoughts. On me rested the hopes of Italy. I had devised a certain tale, which, when 'twas told her, could not fail. Persuade a peasant of its truth. I meant to call a freak of youth. This hiding, and give hopes of pay, and no temptation to betray. But when I saw that woman's face, its calm simplicity of grace, our Italy's own attitude, in which she walked thus far and stood, planting each naked foot so firm, to crush the snake and spare the worm. At first sight of her eyes, I said, I am that man upon whose head they fix the price, because I hate the Austrians over us, the state. Will give you gold, oh gold so much, if you betray me to their clutch, and be your death for aught I know, if once they find you saved their foe. Now you must bring me food and drink, and also paper, pen, and ink, and carry safe what I shall write to Padua, which you'll reach at night. Before the Duomo shuts, go in, and wait till Tenebrae begin. Walk to the third confessional, between the pillar and the wall, and kneeling whisper, whence comes peace? Say it a second time, then cease. And if the voice inside returns from Christ and freedom, what concerns the cause of peace? For answer slip my letter where you placed your lip, then come back happy. We have done our mother's service, I the son, as you the daughter of our land. 3 mornings more she took her stand, in the same place with the same eyes. I was no surer of sunrise than of her coming. We conferred of her own prospects, and I heard she had a lover, stout and tall. She said, then let her eyelids fall. He could do much. As if some doubt entered her heart, then, passing out, she could not speak for others, who had other thoughts herself she knew, and so she brought me drink and food. After 4 days, the scouts pursued another path. At last arrived the help my Paduan friends contrived to furnish me. She brought the news. For the first time I could not choose but kiss her hand and lay my own upon her head. This faith was shown to Italy, our mother. She uses my hand and blesses thee. She followed down to the seashore. I left and never saw her more. How very long since I have thought concerning much less wished for aught, beside the good of Italy, for which I live and mean to die. I never was in love, and since Charles proved false, what shall now convince my inmost heart I have a friend? However, if I please to spend real wishes on myself, say 3, I know at least what one should be. I would grasp Metternich until I felt his red wet throat distill in blood through these 2 hands. And next, not much for that I am perplexed. Charles, perjured traitor for his part, should die slow of a broken heart under his new employers. Last, what should I wish? For fast do I grow old and out of strength. If I resolve to seek at length my father's house again, how scared they all would look and unprepared. So did you see me there? for fast do I grow old and out of strength. I'm on my third COVID. My body's pretty much broken. I'm in constant pain because I chose, as I had my 5th child and was diagnosed with scoliosis, that I would not hook myself on medication. I'm in good shape pretty much in some ways, and I can take care of my house and my people. But other than that, I have nothing left. I do have a son on the property that is taking care of it, and I thank him. We have no assurance that this is going to be a democracy after November of 2024, do we, my children? My brothers live in Austria's pay, disowned me long ago, men say, and all my early mates who used to praise me so perhaps induced more than one early step of mine are turning wise, while some opine. Freedom grows license, some suspect. Haste breeds delay and recollect. They always said such premature beginnings never could endure. So, with a soul and all's for best, the land seems settling to its rest. I think then I should wish to stand this evening in the dear lost land, over the sea, the 1,000 miles, and know it yet, that woman smiles. With the calm smile, some little farm she lives in there. I doubt what harm. If I sat on the doorside bench, and while her spindle made a trench, fantastically in the dust, inquired of all her fortunes just, her children's ages and their names, and what may be the husband's aims for each of them, I'd talk this out and sit there for an hour about, then kiss her hand once more and lay mine on her head and go my way. My children do not have to live this way. Which way, Kara? And what may be the husband's aims? Because we broke religion. Thus, everyone hates me. But at least my children are free. So much for idle wishing, how it steals the time. To business now. Not for me. Not for me. Not business for me. That's because I'm in a certain trajectory and I've got to see how my body does. And I'm resurrecting the Browning's Letters and Poetry by Christopher Ricks. I just gave you 2 of my beautiful poems. I am sick. And that's all I know right now. So I'm still giving beauty and art away in a country that I no longer am a part of, but I'm a citizen. I do have a place to lay my head. I do appreciate the foxes, the birds. And I hope the Son of Man well today, wherever he is. This is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncover No More. I hope you felt like you could stay with me. I'll let the incense finish out. Usually I don't do incense up close. When I read poetry and invoke, it's going to need to be an exception for one reason. My magic is real. Have a nice day.